Today's video is a natural makeup tutorial for women over 40. You do not have to be over 40 to follow this tutorial. I just have a few things in there that are pertinent to women over 40, maybe even over 35. I just wanted to be sure that was in there because there are things that when you get older, you have to deal with your makeup that you really don't have to worry about when you're younger. This is an everyday, easy, natural look that's appropriate for any occasion. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can wear it to work, you can wear it running errands, you can wear it to an event. You can really do anything with it. It's versatile, and it is a look that I get asked about often when I'm on my social media platforms. Just what did I do to get the eyes? What is my makeup look that day? I've done variations of it in other videos or pieces parts if I've done an eye look or a get ready with me, things like that, but I haven't really done just a whole breakdown tutorial of it. So if you want to see a natural everyday makeup tutorial, no matter what your age is, just keep watching. Part of doing what I do here is trying new skincare, and sometimes, unfortunately, that skincare can affect my skin badly. On days like this where I feel like I've got a little redness that might show through a sheer foundation, or, you know, my rosacea's flared up, or I just feel like my skin looks a little more uneven than normal, I've been using this Color Science All Calm Clinical Redness Corrector. And it's really great because it does have mineral sunscreen in it. It's broad spectrum SPF, and it has a slight green undertone to it so that it helps correct the red tones. I put my moisturizer on ahead of time and then put this on as my sunscreen and primer corrector all in one, and it's just been working really well. Color Science did send the All Calm to me to try and test out. This video is in collaboration with Color Science. They sent me some other things I've actually really been liking too. I've always really liked the brand and wanted to try things, but I never have. And so this is a good opportunity for me to show you guys how I've been using this. It does come out pretty thick, you'll see. So, you know, it's pretty thick. You're supposed to swirl the product in your fingers or in your palms to activate the minerals, and then you just dab it on your face where you need it. And I start out with a little bit less and then build it. And it does kind of look scary white when you first apply it, but I find as you rub it, press it into the skin, it settles and melds in with your skin. So I'll start out swiping it and then I start pressing it. And it's got that thick moussey texture, which makes you think it's gonna be really heavy going on, but it's really not. So I do look pale right now, but it's evened out the redness, and when you put foundation on, you don't look pale anymore. I don't know how that works. And I do still have a little bit of redness here, and I'm gonna put that on over that. So I find that I just really like layering this where I need it. And you can put on a bunch at once if you wanna do it that way. This is just how I feel like it works best for me. So my face looks a little bit whiter right now. That's how the product works. It's correcting and evening out the entire face as opposed to just little spots on my face. If you have uneven pigmentation on your eyelids, I found that this works really well as an eyeshadow primer too, and it doesn't drag. It's really smooth. Now I do set it with either a powder shadow or a loose or pressed translucent powder, because if I don't set shadow primer, it's gonna crease. I have a link below if you want to read more about the All Calm and all the benefits and everything that it provides, and I have a promo code too to get a free mini brush on sunscreen. That's kind of what they're famous for with the purchase of the All Calm. And I've been loving this stuff. This is the first time I've ever tried this, and I really like it. I dust it on when I'm finished with my makeup if I'm going out in the sun, and I like to touch up with it too. So I've been over here shaking up the Buttercream is the shade that I am in Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. A lot of you asked me about why I didn't put this in my top 5 BB creams, CC creams, light coverage foundations video. It doesn't really control oil as well as the ones that I put in there. And it's super, super light coverage, which is what that video was about, but I do have to set it pretty well. But I do like how natural it looks. So you can see the redness is evened out on my face, whereas before it was really splotchy looking, and now it looks really nice. I don't normally get that result from Complexion Rescue. I like it because it's a light foundation, but if I have a bad skin day or a rough skin day, I guess I'll say, because it's not like that was bad skin, I just never can wear it. Now I might still have a few spots to conceal, just individual spots. It's a redness evener for if you have acne or rosacea or uneven skin or redness. It's not a mask. So I will have, you know, just a couple of spots, but it's a whole lot less than I would have had to have covered had I done nothing with a light coverage foundation. I spot concealed with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Waterproof Concealer. And that's optional. If you don't have anything to spot conceal, more power to ya. I am now going to correct the darkest parts of my under eye area, which I highly recommend doing if you are having trouble with your under eye area with my Tarte Cc Corrector in light medium. This is optional if you really don't have a lot of darkness, but I do. So I'm going to do that really quickly before I conceal. And don't forget to hit that inner corner. There's nothing that can make me look more tired than having a dark inner corner. And then of course you want to hit that outer corner too, because if you have a hooded eye or downturned eye, if you don't hit that outer corner, you're missing a whole lift you could be getting on that eye. And that's below that lash line. And now I'm going to conceal, and I'm going to use my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. I haven't used this in a long time. This is pretty much how I apply Shape Tape or any thick concealer. And be sure and go in a diagonal. And if you trace your concealer there, you get that little lift. I'm going to show you on one eye what it looks like concealed and kind of highlighted on the cheekbone. And I'll show you what it looks like on the other when I don't do it that way. So see how I'm putting it underneath that eye and kind of on just on the very tippy top of that cheekbone. I just find that really helps, especially when we get older and those cheekbones start to drop a little bit. So look at one eye compared to the other. There's a lot more lift going on with this eye than there is to this eye. So I'm gonna repeat. Looking kind of ghostly underneath the eyes, but it'll all even out in the end. And now I'm just gonna take my Boots number 7. I use this so much in videos, but it's just easy. It's kind of no fail for me. And I'm gonna set my under eye area and my face. And you do not have to set your under eye area if it makes you more crepey and makes you look drier throughout the day. Do not feel like you have to set your under eye area. I know everybody's like, oh, and set and bake and do, you know, whatever. I just set because if I don't, I'll crease. Changing it up a little bit, I'm actually gonna set with the Cover FX mattifying setting powder. I just haven't used it in a long time. It mattifies really well, which is what I need, and it doesn't look heavy or cakey or more makeup-y. And our goal is to not look makeup-y today, to look natural yet appropriate for every day. The Complexion Rescue tinted moisturizer that I use, or tinted gel cream, whatever it's called, is really good for really any skin type, which is what's great about it. I know some people with oily skin say they get really, really shiny with it really quickly, and I do if I don't prep and set well, but I still do like it. It just didn't make my top 5. I'm gonna go even out my brows, pick out a lip liner, and come right back to you and finish up. In trying to decide which natural everyday makeup look I wanted to do, it was kind of hard, but I feel like I consistently get asked about this eye look and or face look, and it's one of the easiest ones that I do. So I just wanted to do this one, and I have done variations of it in other videos, whether it be just the eyes or maybe a get ready with me, I can't remember. But I wanted to incorporate it today just because it is asked about quite often. And you can vary it a little bit based on the products that you have. You don't have to use exactly what I have. If you notice a little light here, wherever it may show up, it's the Simple Human mirror that I use. I don't have the light on because it would shine really brightly. I have a lot of natural light coming in here, and there's something with where the sun is, how it reflects with this magnification. I cannot do anything about it if I want to use this mirror, and I really like using this mirror. I'm taking the good old Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I have the shade Medium Deep. I kind of just take it towards the back and slightly underneath the cheekbone, but not too far down because I don't want to drag my face down. I just kind of see where my cheekbone is. You can look down and see the shadow, almost as if I'm doing contour, but I keep the bronzer above where that is. You don't want to go below because then you'll be like droopy face. And you can pinch your brush if that's more comfortable for you, getting in certain areas. And I do like to bring it a little bit down the neck just because I kind of feel like it melds everything together. I think I said once in a video that I have a lot of real estate up here, so I like to really kind of bring the bronzer kind of far down from the top of the forehead. And that cracked a few of you up, the real estate comment. But it's true. And I'm just using swirling motions. That's all I do. Kind of giving dimension to the face now. If I were to just go out with no bronzer on, the face would just look a little flat. I don't know what I did before bronzer. Now I'm just taking that same brush, and I know most people use really slim brushes, and I do too, just not today. I'm also gonna take this and just lightly dust it across the other areas of my face. It's gonna give a warmth to the face. I use a super natural highlight for days like this. Sometimes I don't even do highlight, and I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Blush in Natural Glow. It may have slight peach undertones to it, but they really don't show up on the skin. Not really peach, more gold. You're probably not even going to be able to see this in the monitor. It is such a subtle color, and I think it was meant to be a blush, but it does not show up on me, and you can use any subtle highlight, and you don't have to do a highlight if you don't want to. I'm resisting the urge to use Cargo Tonga blush on my channel again because it is my favorite natural looking blush, but you can get that look with a lot of different blushes. Tarte Exposed, Tarte Blissful, which is what I'm using today, which looks kind of scary in the pan, but it's really not. This eye look is really quick, and that's why I like it and use it for days like this, but yet it still looks really polished. I've already evened out my eyelids with either a primer or a neutral shadow, and I'm taking that same bronzer and I'm just swirling it up here. You guys have seen me do this if you've seen any of my videos, so I'm gonna go through this really quickly. I go above the crease and I angle my brush upwards like this. Not like this, because then you're going downwards and it's hard if you have any kind of a hood. If you look straight at me, this outer part of my eye kind of folds down a little bit. It helps you get up under there and into the crease. So when I'm doing this step, I do arch my eye up a little bit. And I'm just using, again, that lower lash line, or really from my nose to my outer eyebrow as my guide. I don't want to go any further than that, but you know, this is for a quick day. I'm not going to use tape or anything like that. It's just going to take too much time. And I'm just creating a shadow with the bronzer. You can use a neutral shadow if you want. Clearly, I haven't set my brows yet. Now I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm gonna run that along the lower lash line. So if you wanna bring this shadow further down than I do, by all means go ahead. I just put a tiny bit of the bronzer underneath the eye, and that just helps open up the eye, make it look a little bigger. And you can also just slightly connect the lower lash line with the bronzer in that outer corner. It just kind of helps complete the look a little bit. I'm using a cream shadow. It's super quick and super easy. You don't have to, but I'm going to because that's what I usually do when I get the most comments about this look, which is a lot. I'm using the Armani Eye Tint number 9. I know that's not a shot for any of you who watch my channel at all. I love this thing. This is my second tube. I will be repurchasing this forever. I think it's fabulous. I have actually found though that if for some reason, you know, it's too expensive, because it is expensive, or if you just want a shadow dupe as opposed to a liquid, this Wet n Wild shadow right here, God, what is the name? I hate when companies put their name on a sticker and then the sticker comes off. Anyway, I wore this the other day and it is almost a dead ringer for Armani number 9 eye tint. I'll put the link below. I'll put the name below. I have no idea what the name is of this shadow, but this little single Wet n Wild shadow is really close to this. Now I do kind of have to pack it on to get the same effect. It's not quite as gleamy as this. It's not glittery, it's just gleamy, and it opens up the eyes despite being a darker color. I have done a similar look to this using a lighter color shadow, but for some reason this really works. And I just swipe it on. I do a couple of swipes. You can bring it further up into the crease, but if I'm going daytime, I usually just put it on the lid, tap, bring it slightly into the crease. And I kind of, again, follow that lash line and stay above it. I bring it a little bit higher into the crease right there, just for a tiny bit of undetectable lift so that you can kind of see it above the crease if you have a hood. But I don't really care if you can see it above the crease because I have that transition shade up there. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. And that's it. That is literally it. And I know I was talking through some of that, so it probably, you know, took a little bit longer. You can leave it like this. I like a little bit of a brow lift, so I take just any light shadow from any palette or a single shadow. I happen to have my peachy mattes, just peachy mattes from Too Faced sitting right here, so I'm gonna use Peach Meringue, which is right here. You don't have to highlight your brow bone. I just find that it does give a little bit of a subtle lift and makes a tiny bit of difference. But if you're short on time, don't even worry about doing this. But it does help enhance the eyes and give you that extra oomph to the eye. That's really it to the eye look. It kind of looks like just a little bit of a gradient, and it was super, super easy to do. Just, again, I'm imagining that continuous line going from my lower lash line and on into infinity. And I'm gonna put a slight point while my eye is open and I'm staring in a mirror on my upper lash line slightly above that. You don't wanna put it on that lower lash line or out next to it, because then your liner is gonna be on too low. And then I'm just gonna start smudging along the lash line, and that dot slash line is my end point. And I'm gonna take it 2/3 of the way across my eye. I find that that just elongates the eye a little bit. It opens it up. Then I'm gonna close my eye and smudge it all together. And your dot can be a lot smaller than mine was. I just wanted to show you that technique. If you have a fold that comes down, you can see on me, I have a little bit of a fold there that comes down. When I raise my eye hood, you can see that there is a little bit of that dot under there, but that's okay. I just have that definition. So that's what I was going for. I just want my eyes to be a little bit defined today and have an everyday look. If you want to do a full out wing, you do you. You do your full out wing. I'm not doing that today. I'm going to curl my eyelashes and do mascara, and I'll be right back. You know, if you're like me, you're over 40, you're losing some volume in your lips and some lip definition. Your lip line might kind of be disappearing a little bit. So that's why I use a natural lip liner, just to really give me the shape and lip line that I used to have, but is kind of fading a little bit. So I just take it and kind of round out the natural lip line. I've looked at pictures of myself from when I was younger, and it is amazing at how your lips deflate when you get older, because I used to have nice full lips, and you know, they're still fine, but they're not as full as they were when I was in my 20s and early 30s. So something to look forward to if you're that age, ladies. And I really don't do that so much for the bottom because it's pretty okay. So lining that way just kind of makes them look a tiny bit fuller. And I like to fill them in too, because it also helps them look a little bit fuller, and it helps the lipstick stay on longer. And I like how it evens out the pointiness of my lip line, because I feel like it's gotten pointier lately. I don't know what that is. I'm using Urban Decay Sheer Shimmer in Ex-Girlfriend. I haven't worn this a lot, and I really like it. I know some of you are like me and you like to use finishing powder after you finish, just to kind of blend everything in. I don't do that every day, but I do it a lot, especially if I'm using a sheer foundation. I feel like it just kind of makes everything look a little bit more evened out, but you still see your skin shining through. So I'm just gonna take, I already opened it, my Glossier Wowder, because I haven't used this in a while. I've been using so many different powders. But finishing powder doesn't so much give coverage as it does just enhance what you've got. It just makes your pores look a little more invisible and blends in any lines. It just kind of makes your skin look a little bit more flawless, but doesn't look like makeup, if you know what I mean. This is just a natural, everyday makeup look that anybody can do. It's normally very quick. Today, I did a lot of talking and a lot of explaining, and probably still didn't explain as much as I could have, but I felt like the video was gonna be an hour long. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like this look and can bring it into your everyday life. Let me know what you do for a natural everyday makeup look. I'd love to hear if you do anything different or very similarly to what I do. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you here regularly, and hit that notification bell. It really does help you get notified of when I upload new videos. I've had a few subscribers tell me lately that they didn't get notified of my videos, and they are subscribers. So hit that bell if you haven't done that, and you'll be notified when I upload. And if you're not following me on social media, I'll put that on the screen and down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.